Hello everyone, welcome back to the I Am Stock YouTube channel. Today is January 3rd, 2025, and today we'll be diving into a trading annotations video where we'll be covering multi-timeframe market structure and liquidity analysis, our resulting bias derivation, and then also how some of the technical parameters were misaligned with my mechanical trading model and how they ultimately impacted the trade. So for context, I trade a fission of concepts from ICT, Dave teaches, and also Dave's quarterly theory. So if you're a smart money concepts trader or use any sort of mechanical or partially discretionary trading strategy, some of this should resonate with you. However, I have tailored a lot of these methodologies through data analysis and optimization to maximize returns. And so if you're interested in my derivation, testing, and refinement of anything that is mentioned today, be sure to subscribe and I'll have more videos detailing my specific mechanical trading strategy and how I fuse all of these different smart money concepts together. So in today's video, we'll break down my multi-time frame analysis funnel approach. We'll then use chart annotations to dissect the overall trade setup, and then we'll also discuss how misaligned parameters can lead to missed or suboptimal entries. So just a little bit on the multi-time frame analysis approach funnel. It's essentially what ICT does, where you start with your highest time frame. In this case, the bottom right is the M15 time frame. You then proceed to do your analysis on that, continue to the M5 time frame, and so on until you get to your execution time frame. So on the bottom right chart that we have here, I've overlaid Dave's quarterly theory, which I use for aligning time and price, identifying liquidity pools, also understanding the macro market structure. So in our case, you can see post 9:30 open that we did sweep an M15 swing high into a bearish order block. So I did expect a retracement or some minor rejection to then propel to some of the engineered highs. We were also inside of a distribution phase quarter, and so I did expect to have some sort of retracement prior to taking out these engineered highs. So these confluences of taking an M15 swing high, having the bearish order block in place, and then also being inside of a distribution phase that I believed there was going to be some sort of repricing down prior to the complete distribution leg up. I did believe that we would have a minor retracement. So you can also see post 9:30 that we were consolidating and rejecting off of an event horizon that is the consequent encroachment between two new day or new week opening gaps inside of our M15 bearish order block. So after identifying these M15 and M5 confluences, I then switched to my M1 chart, which I parsed market structure. And then after parsing structure, my model generated a valid entry signal, and I then indexed the 5-second chart for my execution. Now looking at the left side of my screen, we can see the 5-second chart where I do the majority of my annotations. My purple annotations highlight SMT, and then the orange annotations highlight entries and other labels specific to my mechanical model. You can see here that this entry 1 was the ideal or optimal entry, which it was taken, and it would have required a second re-entry, which my model permits, and then it actually did hit 5R after taking it back to the entry. So you can see that by chasing an internal trade, I then got myself out of sync with market structure, and that's why I got burnt on the upside here while it still did print 5R, which then this ultimately repriced to the upside to take out those engineered highs. So I do like to note my stop out range, or my SOR, which is essentially from my stop out point all the way up until the highest point that price went prior to the drop in your desired direction. And so I did notice that this was a big range. Normally it's only a few ticks with the precision of the model, but because I did take that internal, it had already offered an entry to reprice lower prior to going higher. So chasing the final down move prior to that move higher, I was already out of sync at that point. And so these internal entries are still a work in progress for me. I'm still backtesting and refining these internal entries while they aren't necessary. The data that I've taken has suggested that you do forego a lot of missed 5R plus opportunities just by not taking internal entries. So dialing in these internal entries a little bit more and identifying mechanical patterns specific to this model, I think I can really dial in, optimize these internal entries so I'm not getting myself out of sync with market structure and still achieving these nice low resistance liquidity runs. So in my mind, an internal entry should be something similar to entering on the first or second distribution leg of what a MMXM or market maker model is kind of like. And so in this case, again, we do see that I did get myself out of sync with market structure and ultimately took the hit for it, but I believe that I can optimize these internal entries to then have it be similar to that institutional order flow entry drill, low resistance liquidity runs that are similar to entering on that first or second distribution leg in the market maker models. So while the first absolute entry of my model was valid, because I missed it, I ended up getting myself out of sync with market structure because I entered on an internal high, and I haven't yet designated the risk settings and specific technical patterns specific to internal entries yet. So I think the importance of this session is to realize that if your mechanical model has delivered successfully in some areas, it's important not to let that overinflate or skew your following decisions And it also goes to show that mechanical models, they are mechanical, they do require lots of data and backtesting. And so in order to refine them, if you are going to execute in some way, you need to have data to back it up. And so I need to keep working on these internal entries. So if you guys enjoyed my technical breakdown, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you'd like a deeper dive into these concepts. This is pretty surface level. A lot of these things, like I said, are a fission of days. Dave teaches FX, ICT. Not only is it a fission, but it's also an extension. I have refined these and optimized these through my own backtesting and data collection. And so if you would like more videos on this or any more information, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.